Ah, bollocks.
Okay guys, welcome to the Friday Waffle. Coming to you on a Friday. It's a rather nice night. Weather has been a bit naff today, but it's actually got nicer tonight. You tend to find that. I don't know what it is about the weather in Scotland. It tends to be rubbish and then it always seems to get better at night. Which I suppose, since I'm not working at night, is quite a good thing. So I trust you've all had a excuse me, a decent week. I've had quite a hectic week at work. Just I was hoping for a sort of quite a quiet Friday. You know, nobody wants a busy Friday, but it was anything but. Lots of things are happening. So anyway, I'm not going to bore the tits off you about my work. What have I been doing this week? Have I been playing any games? What was I doing? I was playing my PS4 last night. I downloaded a few of the games on PS Plus. It's not Tropicana. It's something like Tropicana 5, and the title screen is these two guys with a beard. I actually thought they were the Pickford brothers, but they're not. And a quick look at it, it looks kinda like Sim City meets The Sims, something like that. So I played that for about 5 minutes and I thought, nah, I can't be arsed with that. A couple of other things, there was a kind of strange driving game. It looked a bit like Wipeout but just not as good. You know what, the annoying thing about the PS Plus thing, I mean it's 40 odd quid a year. Yeah, you get, I'm just going to say free games. You don't get them free because you're paying for them. But they give you games, is it maybe 2 or 3 a month. And it's been going, I mean the PS4 now has been out for, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe slightly more than that. And I think there's only been, is it 2 full price games? There was, what's it called? I've actually got the game. I can't even see it up there. Yeah, what's it called? Not Killzone. Infamous. Infamous. That was a full price game. They gave that away, and they also gave away another full price one. In fact, it's not full price. It's a Zombie, which is, I think that was a budget game. But it's been out for now what, almost 2 years. The PS4, and yet all the games still seem to be all these wee. Sort of indie games, as they like to call them in the trade. I'm all for, you know, independent companies making stuff, but I didn't buy a cutting edge. Well, I know it's cutting edge in comparison to a PS3. I didn't buy an expensive console so I could play games that could have been done on an Xbox or whatever. You know, you're wanting something that's going to look like it's next gen. And we just seem to constantly get all these sort of old-fashioned looking games. I mean, there's a real resurgence of like 8-bit kind of graphics. And, you know, if I want to play 8-bit games, I play an 8-bit machine. I'll play my Commodore 64. I don't want to play an 8-bit game on a current machine. I suppose, you know, the geographic of these games isn't aimed at people like myself. I mean, the average PlayStation 4 owner probably hasn't either seen a C64 or he's probably never played one in 30 odd years. So I suppose guys like myself and probably people that are watching this video, you're the very same. You know, I don't buy a cutting edge machine to play old style games. I've got my old style machines to play them on. So it's a wee bit annoying when you pay that money for like free games and they don't give you any games that are really cutting edge. They're all kind of like, you know, wee platformers or, as I say, it's kind of old style games. I want more for that. But the annoying thing is, if you don't sign up to the PS Plus thing, I don't think you can play online. Saying that, I don't play online anyway, so I don't know what I'm complaining about. So I don't know really where I'm even going with this, so I'm going to stop what I'm talking about and move on. What have I been doing before I start on this? I don't actually have anything to talk about this week. I've just been really busy with other stuff. I was going to say I did show you. I didn't actually show you. In fact, I'm going to show you now. I did mention about my little Icade project thing. Now that's the Icade thing. You can see in the back it's got Icade. This is going to be the basis for my little project. So in here, right, I've now got all the bits. Now the screen of my little cabinet thing is going to be this, which is an iPad screen. That's going to be it. I mean, look how thin that is, that's just ridiculous. So that is going to be the screen. That's obviously going to fit in the front. Now I've got my mate Mike has very kindly done a lot of jiggery pokery for me. What Mike's done now, this part here normally slots into the front. You can see here, this would normally slot in there, which it's going to do eventually. It slots in there like so. Now it obviously comes with its own buttons, but the buttons on the Icade are terribly clicky to the point that it's just, they're really loud and quite annoying. So what Mike has kindly done for me, he's actually put in much better joystick and buttons. You can see, or you can hear, there's no clickiness. So I've got 8 buttons, I've got a professional joystick, and he's also very kindly put in 2 buttons here, which is going to be like the start and coin. And he's also, that used to be USB, he's also converted it to it used to be Bluetooth, but he's now made it USB, so it should be a simple case of plugging it in. Now what's going to be powering the whole thing is the Pi 3. You see there it's got the 4 USB ports, so that'll be nice. Now what I need to connect the Pi to the iPad screen, I need one of these things. You're thinking, what on earth is that? Basically this bit here plugs into the iPad. The power goes into here. This is basically the buttons to control the thing. You've got on, off, different buttons. I'm not quite sure what these actually do. Don't know what that does. But the clever part of this is HDMI out, so it means that the HDMI cable plugs into that, and the other end goes into the Raspberry Pi, so it means that it's going to output through the wee screen. So got that. Put that away carefully. Come on, get in. Okay, that's that. Now, because of the lack of space in the Icade, I didn't want, basically I've got 2 power adapters. I need one for the Pi and one for that little device here which powers the screen. So what Mike has very cleverly done, he's got this power pack and he's got 2 bits coming off it. One for the Raspberry Pi and one for the little HDMI device thing. Now what he's done is, apparently the Pi takes, is it 5 volts and the screen takes 12. So this actually changes the current. So one of them is 5 and one of them is 12. That's something I could not possibly do myself, so I'm really grateful to Mike for doing that. What else? That is really it. This little thing here is a wee USB device that plugs into the Pi, because apparently the sound, the output in MAME and RetroPie, which is the software I'm going to put in the Pi, it's quite crackly. This thing apparently improves it tenfold. It plugs in there, and then you've got your sort of like your output, your headphones, whatever it is. So that is it, and then you've got this little device here which controls the HDMI device. So that's it, that's all my bits. So basically I've got all my bits here. It's just a question of getting them all put into the cabinet, which should be fairly easy. What I need to do is come up with some way of mounting the actual screen into the Icade, and then getting some kind of, surround and, get some artwork and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Quite looking forward to giving it a bash. Right, I'll move that there, I don't want it to fall and break. So yeah, I don't have anything else to really talk about, guys. Apologies, it's just been one of these weeks. There's only one thing that I was going to mention, and it actually ties in with one of the questions. Now, my mate Alan has very generously asked 2 questions, which is fantastic. I think you've mentioned your Icade conversion project. Yep, that's it there. At the local club, Alan and I go along to a computer club once a month. At the local club, a lot of us seem to spend more time tinkering than playing. Do you think that now that we've pretty much every game at our fingertips via emulation, the challenge of getting them to run on more and more different platforms has somewhat replaced the original challenge of actually playing the games? You know what, Alan, I'm exactly like that. I spend more time messing about with ROMs and emulators and God knows what. I mean, every time I get a new platform, I mean, when I first got my iPad, I got this C64 emulator, and I figured out how to add extra games, and I spent weeks and weeks and weeks adding C64 games. It wasn't a question of just dragging it across. You had to convert it, then you had to type in this like text command. Each kind of folder with a game in it had to have this text command thing, and I spent weeks and weeks and weeks doing that. And as soon as I'd done it, that was it. I moved on to something else. It's the same with all these Android devices. I spend ages getting them all configured and getting all the emulators working. It's the same with that RetroPie thing. I spent ages getting it all working, and as soon as it's all working, I stop using it. Now I'm hoping that's not going to be the case with this Icade. I mean, I know I've got my big name card there, but the reason for that Icade thing is, well, I bought the Pi 3 and I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? But it'll be quite a nice wee thing to take. It's a lot more portable than trying to carry my big Icade thing, so not my Icade, my big name card. It's going to be portable. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do spend way more time just messing about with hardware than I actually do playing games. And sometimes I have to think to myself, never mind the tinkering about, start playing the games. So you're absolutely right, Alan. I'm very guilty of that. The second part, in 30 years time when we're all in our 70s, there's a sobering thought, oh, he's got an 80s. Cheers for that, Alan. Will we have a second wave of nostalgia when we remember building MAME cabs, making portable Spectrums in briefcases? Now, if you're wondering what Alan's talking about, my mate George, he actually did just that. He put a Spectrum into a briefcase. He got a screen in the Spectrum and all the foam around it, so he basically opens up this this briefcase and it's like a portable Spectrum. Yeah, when we making portable Spectrums in briefcases, Jim Bagley's ZX81 Dragon's Lair challenge, as well as the games themselves. Absolutely. I mean, when I think even like MAME, which I always think about as being quite a recent thing, I've been into MAME since 1997, which would be almost 20 years ago. So absolutely, we're going to look back at this through nostalgia, you know, with yeah, we're going to look back on it through sort of, I'm going to say rose-coloured spectacles. But funny thing is, I actually think, I mean, I've been into playing emulators for such a long time. Probably one of the first to really get an interest in it. You know, pretty much from when I got the internet, even before I got the internet back in 1997, even before that I was playing emulators, buying them on discs and running like ZX80, not ZX81, running Spectrum emulators and that kind of stuff on my Amiga. So I think we will, absolutely. I think anything at all that you do, even like my running, which is, you know, I've been doing for like 4 or 5 years, because I've not been running that well, I'm not doing any of the big races, I've kind of been looking back at some of the photos and Facebook. You know this Facebook thing, it produces something from like 4 years ago in the day, and even, you know, looking at pictures of myself taken like 3-4 years ago, I think, oh yeah, I remember that was excellent. And I look at myself and I look younger. In fact, even the YouTube thing, my intro has got which Monkey Spaz made for me. It's still, I love that intro to bits. It's going to be one of my favourite intros of any YouTube channel, and I wish I could take credit for it, but it's not. It's Monkey Spaz done it for me. But there's a feature in 2 of the videos, and I think I even look younger even then. I mean, you're talking about 2 years ago, but it's amazing how much I think I've aged even in just say 2 years. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Alan. I mean, regardless of what it is, anything that you enjoyed that brought you happiness, you're going to look back in it with nostalgia. Yeah, that's just something. That's just one of these things you do when you get old. You never really think about nostalgia when you're younger. It seems to be when you get older. Maybe you become more aware of the life you've had and the life you've got left, and 9 times out of 10 the life you've got left is probably going to be less than the life you've still got. Sorry, I've just contradicting myself, yet the life that you've got still to go is probably less than the life you've actually led, which is bloody depressing. So, right, okay, that was question number 1 from Alan. The second one is, it's about gaming merchandise. I know you talked about those amiibo things being a right rip-off. Did I? I can't remember, maybe I did. Basically charging people extra to unlock something already in a game. Yep. What do you think about all the other merchandising that seems to surround gaming nowadays? All the wobbleheads and action figures that were on sale in Blackpool, and dare I mention the swords. Firstly, I was going to talk about this. Disney have announced that they're no longer going to be making video games, and they're going to be making, there's a thing called Disney Infinity, which is one of these sandbox type games, and just what Alan's saying there, to unlock it you buy these extra figures. Now my daughter has got 2 of the discs, the Disney Infinity discs, and we have spent a small fortune on the figures. I don't know how many she's got, she's maybe got about 20, and these things, they range between they're about 12-13 quid each. For the Disney Infinity figures. So she's got them, and Disney have now said they won't be making any more games. Now, Ava's had them for a couple of years, and to be fair, she's probably got her money's worth out of them. But I couldn't even imagine how pissed off I would be as a parent if I had seen my kid's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and I bought Disney Infinity and I bought all these figures, because the whole purpose of these figures is it's going to allow you to unlock stuff in other games, and you know they're going to bring out more versions of the game that you can unlock using these figures. So you potentially spend 40 quid in the game, and then you maybe buy 10 figures at £15 each, there's 150 quid. You could spend 3-4 times what you've spent in the game on these figures just so you can unlock bits, and then Disney have gone and basically pulled the mat from under people's feet. You know, screw the fact that people have spent all that money in figures. So I do think that these are a complete rip-off. I mean, the first one that I remember, and I was guilty of getting it for my daughter, was Skylanders. You know, the code is already on the disc, and they are, I suppose it's effectively like downloadable content. They're making you pay to get something to unlock the game. Thing is though, these figures are, you know, they're 15. I mean, there's obviously you've got some of the figures that are rare, and I mean I think we spent 20 quid on one of them. So you're spending like £15-20 to unlock a level in a game. Now I'm sorry, but I think that's bullshit, because you've bought the disc, you've bought the game for full price, and you've got all the code in the disc, and yet their companies are expecting you to buy these plastic figures, which are not cheap. You know, if they're a couple of pounds each, I could live with that. They're not cheap at all, to unlock parts of the game. So I'm completely against that. I mean, these things are very cleverly marketed. I mean, obviously, kids being kids, they want them all. They see this one, they want that one, they want all the different versions. So it's, you know, as a parent, you're constantly putting your finger in your pocket, your hand in your pocket to buy stuff like that. And then there's Disney, they've just decided, right, that's it, we're not making any more Disney Infinity games. So all these figures that you've just bought, tough, you know, you're not going to be able to use them for anything else. So I'm not a fan of these things. Bobbleheads, action figures, well, I can't see very much. I mean, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 15 of these, and it's this. I've got the Star Wars ones. I've got them all still in their boxes. Now, I must admit, I'm not intending to buy any more of these things. I mean, the only ones I wanted were the original Star Wars. I mean, I don't know, I think there's different versions of these, but I just wanted the original characters, you know, your Princess Leia, your Tusken Raider, your, I didn't want a Clone Trooper, Jawa, Jabba the Hutt. I've not got Jabba the Hutt, I must admit. I went in. That's Archie coming in. So, yeah, I don't mind these, but there's an absolute million of them for sale. The thing is, people, just what I'm talking about with these Skylander figure things, they're basically, they're addiction for adults. You know, I know Gashead Steve, he's got a lot of them. And it's, where do you draw the line? You know, every single, I don't know how many of these things have been released, and again, they're about 15 quid each. I've bought all mine at like Comic Con, so I get them for like £10 each, but where do you draw the line? People buy these things, they keep them in boxes like I've done, somehow thinking, oh, they're going to be worth a fortune later on. Yeah, maybe in 20, 30 years time they might be worth something, I don't know. But it's just constantly pandering to the collector. You know, there's so many people that they've got this collector's bug and they just can't resist constantly collecting all these things. So all these bobbleheads and what have you, I mean, I've got one up there my daughter bought me. It's called Bobblehead, funnily enough, and it's Rick Grimes at The Walking Dead. I'm certainly not going to start buying all these, but aye, they're just, it's very, very clever marketed. They bring out these things and they, I mean, you know, people, they're aiming, the demographic they're aiming at, I think that's the second time I've said that word today, demographic. They're aiming at adults, people who've got disposable income, people who can afford to buy these. So, I mean, I went to the Comic Con and bought about 6 of them in one go, and it was 60, 70 quid. But they are what they are, you know, people, they're not retro in any way, they're brand new things, but they definitely appeal to the collecting aspect for a lot of people. So as long as they're making money, they're going to keep selling. The second part of the second question that Alan mentions, he's on about swords. Yeah, at Blackpool, and there have been a few of these things, they sell swords. A big part of the a big part of these shows is the cosplay, people basically dressing up as video game characters. I don't get it myself, but then people probably don't get a 50-year-old man playing computer games. These swords are obviously targeted to people who like to dress up as Zelda and what have you, and run about with big swords and shields. I'm not going to mock them because, like I says, I'm almost 50 and I play video games, so I can't say anything. Again, there's people, they're targeted to the adults who have money to spend, and where there's money to be made, they're going to pander to it, and that's why these things exist. But it's not something I would ever do. The other thing Alan's mentioning here, these what's he seen here? Right, sorry. In addition, Facebook keeps suggesting I sign up for one of these loot crates or Z boxes. Never heard of that one. I suspect because they think I'm in that demographic, yep, that age group. I can't get my head round why someone would want to sign up to paying a monthly fee to receive a box of wobbleheads when they don't even know what they're going to get. It's true. I mean, Stuart Ashen does an unboxing every month for the loot crate. The loot crate is basically, it's a subscription thing. You pay, I mean, I think it's originated from the States, and I think Loot Crate is still in the States, so you can get it imported, but it's something ridiculous, like 30 quid. My daughter was begging me to get her Loot Crate, and I thought, yeah, okay, I'll get it. They're wanting like £30 for one box for 1 month, and I thought, nah, there's no way, because basically what you get is a box, and it's, I mean, what they say is, you're getting, the stuff inside the box is worth 70 quid, so you're getting more than your money's worth. But it's what Alan says here, you've got no idea what you're going to get. I mean, Stuart Ashens does these unboxings, and half the time he says it's a lot of crap. You get a t-shirt of Superman or something, you get a Harry Potter mug, you get a, you know, whatever, a Marvel Comics fridge magnet. You're paying for a box, it's like a blind box, you've got no idea what you're getting. Again, it's the collector aspect. People get these things, oh look at this magic wand thing, Doctor Who, I'll put that on eBay, that'll be worth a fortune. I don't get it myself. If they were maybe £10, bit of fun, you know, you don't know what you're going to get, but I'm certainly going to go spending 30 quid, but I dare say they must make their money. That's why they make these things. I mean, I think in the US, not in the US, in the UK, there are different versions. I don't know what they're called, but I think they're still quite expensive. I'm certainly not going to go spending 20, 30 quid on something when you've got no idea what you're going to get. So, aye, that is Alan's 2 questions. Thanks for that, Alan. I appreciate it. Now, apologies to Kevin down the rabbit hole. Kevin did, I actually picked Kevin up saying he didn't give me a question for last week's waffle. He did actually. So apologies for that, Kevin. For the Friday Waffle, hi Alan, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, okay, stick the knife in, twist it a wee bit. A couple of weeks ago, alright, sorry, I thought you were going to say a couple of weeks ago I posted this question. You're not, you're talking about something completely different. A couple of weeks ago you were showing Drop Zone playing behind you. Oh, of course it was on that thing. And I'm thinking of picking that game up for my Game Boy Advance. My dilemma is which one should I get? The original Game Boy version, the Game Boy Color version, or Super Drop Zone for the Game Boy Advance. All 3 look pretty impressive for their respective hardware. I've noticed the GBA title was developed by your old chum Jim Bagley. But don't let that influence you. What would you recommend? I can't say I've really played any of these ones at any great length, Kev. I would probably say, without seeing them, I'd probably say go for the Game Boy Advance because it's going to be the most advanced. And besides, Jim's my mate and he's a cracking programmer, but nah, joking aside, I'm quite sure it's going to be a fantastic version. I think I have played it very briefly. I mean, if I'm going to play Drop Zone, I'd rather play it on the Atari or the C64. To my mind, that is the home of Drop Zone. I've never played the Game Boy version. Game Boy Color one, didn't even know that existed. I would probably say go for Game Boy Advance. I mean, there's probably the ROMs are probably available online, Kev. What you should probably do is download them. In fact, let me know. I've probably got my computer and I can send you them. You can have a play of them emulator wise and then decide yourself. But I'd probably say go for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, the Game Boy, as we all know, wasn't the greatest when it came to scrolling. Now, Drop Zone is a super fast scrolly type game, so I'm not sure how Drop Zone would actually work in that. Same with the Game Boy Color, probably not the greatest screen for a kind of quick pace game, so I'm guessing the Game Boy Advance is probably the one to go for, mate. But like I says, give me a shout, I'll send you the ROMs if you want. Try it on emulators and then you can decide yourself. So listen, that is it. That is... I've got nothing else to talk about. Apologies for a really, really short waffle. I do have a pickup. Now, I've kept going on about this before. I don't buy games for my PS4. I mean, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've only got 10 games for the PS4. I've had it, since release, which was, a year and a half ago, something like that. So I'm not one for going out and buying brand new games. However, I was in getting my lunch today in Sainsbury's and I saw this. And it is Doom. I've seen a video of this getting played and I've got to say, I mean, like most people, I love the original Doom. And I've seen a video of this getting played. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was running on the PC with some fancy Nvidia graphics card, and it was running at 200 frames a second. Now, I've always been one of these people who think, this frames a second nonsense is all bollocks. You know, I can't tell the difference between 30 and 60. Well, I can. You know, if you see someone running at 30, it's just that smoother. Well, this thing was running at 200 frames a second, and it was as real life as you could possibly get. You know, you turn your head. When I turn my head like that, there is no blurriness. You know, everything is rocket sharp. I don't have to have. I don't have to tick the. The image doesn't tear when I turn my head, and that's what this thing was like. It was running at 200 frames a second. It just looked mental. But apparently, this is getting really good reviews on the PS4. I love the original Doom. This looks fantastic. Some of the big baddies. I actually thought it was going to be, was it like Doom 3 where it was kind of, was it Doom 3? No, was it? No, I'm thinking of Quake. Yeah, I'm thinking of Quake where it's kind of baddies. I thought this was going to be like Marines and that kind of stuff, but it's not. it seems to have gone back to the origins with like the big skeletons and demogorgons and what have you. So aye, really looking forward to playing that. Really looking forward to it. So that is it, guys. That is my Friday Waffle. Again, apologies for it being so short. Aye, that is it. Thanks as usual to all the constant support that I've had. I think I've just tipped over 750 subscribers. Wow. Do you think I'll see 1,000 before Christmas? Here's hoping. That's just mental. I kind of feel like it's the last 200-300 have just gone that quick, but you know, thank you to everybody that continues to support the channel. Making comments is the most important thing. It really is, because without comments, yeah, you get the views, but you really don't have any interaction. When it's just somebody watching it, you don't know who's watching it or anything. But when you get comments, it's great, because you've just got the communication, you've got the whole community thing, which is fantastic. So like I said, guys, thanks to everyone that continues to support the channel. Hopefully I can keep you entertained for another bit anyway. That's it, guys. I hope you have a nice weekend. If you haven't subscribed and you want to see more content by myself, please think about hitting the subscribe button. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And finally, thank you very much for watching.